Hello everybody. So, this is going to be a quick video on how to install the Lantern prefab, and well, we'll just jump right into it. So, once you've imported the custom package, which you'll do by going to Assets, Import Package, and then Custom Package, you'll select the Lantern, and then once you get that in there, it's going to be here under folder called Lantern_Classic. Once you've got that, you're going to grab this empty_avatar root, which is the Lantern prefab, as it says here. You're going to drag that under your avatar root. So it'll be next to your armature, next to your skin to mesh render for the body, etc. Once you've done that, you can drop this down real quick and you'll find another one. It's going to be the Lantern_system. Here, it'll tell you parent directly under avatar root. In order to do that, we have to unpack this prefab. So I'm going to right click on empty_avatar, unpack prefab completely, and then I'm going to move Lantern_system under my avatar root next to the armature, body, etc. Now we can get rid of this empty avatar. We no longer need that. In order to make the lantern attach to your avatar properly, we do, however, need to make sure that everything lines up. So to do that, we're going to very quickly go to the Lantern_pivot. We're going to test where the lantern lands on each anchor. For example, by default, it's going to start on your hip. If the hip is in a good position, then we can go ahead and leave it there. Next, we can go ahead and try, we can change the weight values so that the hip_L hand target has a weight of 1 and the other two have a weight of 0. That should put your lantern just under one of your hands. As you can see here, it's just floating under my character's hand, which is not quite what I want. So I'm going to move it. Move the target up into the palm so that it matches the avatar's hand. To do that, I need to click on the lamp L hand target reference, and it'll highlight the one I need to move here in the hierarchy. Once I've selected that, I can move that target up into the palm of the character a little bit more accurately. Now we'll go back to the lantern pivot, and we'll change the weight in the inspector again so that the right hand target has a weight of 1 and the other two have a weight of 0. Now you should have the lantern in your right hand. Once again, we're going to click on lamp R hand target in the constraint source and click on the one that highlights. Once you've got that selected, move that into the hand, make sure it fits, and that should be good. Just to double check, I'll set the weight of the hip to 1 and both of the hands to 0 to make sure that it rests on the hip where I want it. As you can see, it's kind of clipping inside of the staff and inside of the clothes a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the hip target, select what it highlights, and move it out and back. And that's it. Once you've done this, excuse me, once you've done this, you're going to have to reparent all of your targets under their respective bone. So we're going to drop down the armature and drop down the hips. We're going to start by moving the lamp_hip target up into the hips under the inspector. And we're just going to drop it directly onto the hips so it's parented under the hips directly. Next, we've got the left hand and the right hand. Let's go down the spine, chest, and then that should give you your left shoulder and right shoulder. And I'll start with the left shoulder. Dropping that down, you can go in and find your left wrist or left hand bone. From the lantern system, you're going to get lamp_L hand target right here, and you're going to drop that directly under your left wrist or left hand, so it should be next to all of your fingers. Same thing, but now on the right shoulder. I'll collapse that, get the right shoulder, find the right hand bone, and then I'll take the lamp right hand target and put it directly under the right hand bone or right wrist. Once we've done that, we can collapse the armature. Next, we've got a couple of colliders here. These colliders are specifically made and positioned so that you can put them on whichever side is most appropriate. For example, if you would like to move your hip target to the other side of your hip, just like we did back in the steps of correcting the hands and hip, you're more than welcome to do so, and it'll work. However, the hips collider and the upper leg collider, you'll just have to pay a little bit more attention to. Since the lantern is resting on the right leg's hip, we don't have to do anything special, but we do have to make sure that the upper leg collider is parented under the same leg that the lantern is resting over. So I'm going to put the upper leg collider under the right leg since that's where we place the lantern's hip target. Next, we're going to grab the lantern hips collider and, you guessed it, put that right in the hips. That's it. Once you've completed that, you can go ahead and collapse all of these. And only your avatar should remain. However, we do need to merge the parameters, menu, and FX layer. To do that, you will have to have the Creator Companion, or you will have to have VR Labs Avatars 3.0 Manager, at the very least. Once you've opened the window for the Avatar Manager, drag your avatar into the Avatar reference slot at the top. Go down to the FX drop-down, scroll all the way down, and click on Add Animator to merge. From the Lantern Classic folder at the bottom, click on Animations and Menus and go into that folder. And then get the lantern_FX, drop that into the animator reference. Once you've done that, click Merge on Current. Next, we'll have to add the parameters. Go up to this little tab here that says Parameters when you hover over it, and then scroll all the way down. In order to merge the parameters, you find this copy of parameters, and then drag your lantern_parameters into that slot, and then click Copy Parameters. You should see the following parameters: hip lantern, L hip lantern, R hip lantern, lantern toggle, and lantern equip. And that should be it. Once you've done that, we'll have to add the lantern submenu to the avatars menu. Click on your avatar, and in the inspector, scroll down. Find your menu reference. Once you've clicked on that, it'll highlight your avatar's menu here. To add the submenu of the lantern, click Add Control, drop that down, and then we can just call that lantern, or whatever you would like to call it. The type must be a submenu. Leave parameter alone, and then under submenu, you can click the reference, and you'll have to find lantern menu. Once you've selected that, you should have lantern menu as the submenu option in your primary avatar menu, or wherever else you might like to place it. Now that we've done that, we can briefly test it. Entering play mode, and if you have an avatar manager, a gesture manager, we can go ahead and enter play mode. And we can test the avatar out. From here, you should be able to go into your expressions, and then you should have a lantern submenu. In that submenu, you'll have options to change where the lantern is held. But first, you'll have to equip it. Clicking on Equip, the lantern should appear, and then you can select right hand, left hand, and then move it back to the hip. To ignite it, in game, you can either touch it with your opposite hand while you're holding it, or you can use your menu and click Ignite. When you touch the lantern with your opposite hand, it will ignite for everyone, even if people are not directly facing you. That's it. Hope this helps, and I hope you guys enjoyed the lantern.